Hey friends, it's Joy with Pajama Crafter Stamps. Good to see you. Hello, hello. I see Sylvia, I see Lisa, I see Sandy Palace. Good to see you. Um, we're going to see what we do today. I see Justine on here. Hello, hello. Um, so yeah, let's get started. I bought myself a new sticky mat, so that's probably some of the glare that you're seeing. So let's pull that off. We're going to do some ink blending and some masking. So I was telling Lisa, and oh man, I can't. This is so sticky the first time that I can barely get the acetate off. Hold on. Let's watch me be silly. Wow. So I was telling Justine and Lisa that I broke my scan and cut. And I actually have already ordered another one because it's the one thing I can't live without in my craft room. And then as soon as I ordered it, I realized I had cleaned my rollers with an alcohol pad to make them less sticky. And they legitimately, let's see if I can get this lined up and talk. Anyway, I found that there was a piece of alcohol pad stuck in the roller, so I was able to use a tweezers and pull that out. So I see that there's a D green on here. Good to see you. I see Benita. So welcome. So the queen of I hate fuzzy cutting, actually fuzzy cut, and I have no idea how really good this is going to turn out, but we're going to be using the Adventure Weight stamp set. Wow, that's sticky. Y'all can tell I'm not used to using a sticky mat on my board. Oh. Anyway, moral of the story is it's very sticky. Adventure Weight, stay the course, held through every storm and brave the waves. So we are going to put this back on and see if it's not as sticky. And let's get out some paper. We're going to stamp. Yes, I cussy cut, and I did it for you guys. And let me tell you something. I cussy cut. So have we already dropped the news? All of you who have been praying and sending cards to Lisa. Lisa, had her surgery about 2 weeks ago and is still recovering. So she could still use some love and hugs and prayers, but came back that they got all the cancer, and as of right now is not going to have to undergo any more surgery. So that matters to me, and I'm like, I about cried. Okay. In fact, she and her daughter and husband all called me at the same time, like I was part of the family, and that made me extremely happy. So this is a really good day, and my day did not start out really good. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got the It's Fine shirt on because that's really how I was feeling. And then Lisa called me and I said, can you make me a graphic relief? Well, since I'm like, since you're not sick anymore, can you make me a graphic that says it's a happy day? We kick cancer's ass. And yeah, I think I said something to that line, but yay. So everything that we've prayed for, set good vibes for, believed in, all the it happened, you guys. So happy girl. Oh my goodness. We might have to do some CPR. I have a dead spot in that. I have another sticky mat in this Misty, and I'm telling you, I feel like we're doing the CPR. Okay. Good to know I still know how to do it. Yay. Yeah, it's the Misty. Because I literally just stamped it with another Misty, my small one, and it was perfect. So it's not the stamp set, I promise. I've got a big old, I've got a sticky mat in there, and there's like an air bubble. Pesky little thing. So now I'm going to lift this up a little bit so you can see where the air bubble is. And I'm going to put the beach down here. And I'm going to stamp it too. Can this go any more wrong? Lord, be with me. Aren't you guys glad that it happens to me? So it makes you feel like, yay, it happens to somebody else besides, just you. Stick. All right. So I'm putting this beach down at the bottom. And now we're going. So I don't see Dawn Hill on here unless she has a name that I'm not aware of. But I sent out a newsletter letting everybody know what's going on with Pajama Crafter stamps. And I let everybody know that I was going live today. I also let them know that we were sponsors of Craft Roulette and that Justine would be the guest designer on Craft Roulette this evening. And Dawn sent me a message. And again, it came right before Lisa. So I was still having it's fine, I'm fine kind of day. And she made my day by saying this. She goes, I just recently found your channel and I've been binge watching and I love what I see. And she said she would try to make the live, and if she didn't, that she would watch it on the replay. So Dawn, if you're here and you're lurking, you made my day. If you are watching it on the replay, you made my day. So yay. Justine always does amazing things. So I'm using Pajama Crafter stamps, masking paper. I should have that on my desk to show you, but yeah, we don't. It's somewhere. So the hardest part for me with fingernails is to get it started. I have no dexterity in my hands. You guys need to understand that. Like, I have none. I watched Justine do this with like her fingernails that are like twice as long as mine. And I see her do it with tweezers and I'm like, I don't know. So with masking, everything that you don't want, everything that you want to be in the foreground, okay, gets masked. So I cut out the beach and I'm lining that up. Okay. Now I did the ship and I originally was going to do this on my scan and cut, which is why we started out me complaining about my scan and cut. But I did fuzzy cut this. So Justine says she's laughing at the nail comment. She's had long nails for several years. I keep mine extremely short and I still can't. I just, you guys, with my autoimmune stuff and the inflammation that I have in my hands, I have a real dexterity problem. There are days that I wake up and I can't even open up a water bottle. So there's that going on. Like I'm ready just to say screw this. Like I hate doing this. But this masking tape is actually very easy because if you watch Justine, she can do it in seconds. Justine says she's happy. She's excited to be back on Craft Roulette. That's awesome. Now, you guys, just because she is on our team and I said that she's on the, I'm a promoter of people who I love and things that I love. So I told Justine from the very beginning that if the parameters came up and that there wasn't something that fit pajama crafter stamps, that she did not need to feel obligated to use our stamps. So I want you to know ahead of time, like she has my blessing to use whatever she has in her stash and not to give it like another ounce of thought. Like I want her just to do the very best that she can, and I cannot do this. This is painful. This is why I don't do this stuff on live TV or YouTube. Because it literally makes me feel like I'm a monkey. There, where it's as good as it's going to get, and however I have to fix it, we'll fix it. So I am using my Distress inks because where I don't use I can't think. Where I don't use any ink or where the masking's off, I'm then going to be able to use Copic. Thank you. Words are so hard today, you guys. They are so hard. I don't know what's going on with that, but they're so hard. Anyway, we're going to start with peacock feathers. And I'm going to use it on the water. Hi, Jay. Jay's saying he's going to have to watch something on the replay. Is it today? You're going to have to go because I'm so slow. I understand. Trust me. So I'm going all the way down with this. Hi, Sandy. Sandy Powers is here, which doesn't surprise me. Makes me happy. And then I'm going to use, I don't know, let's use soft pushing. I was going to do prize ribbon. Yeah, we might still. And I still, the heart wants what the heart wants. I want some prize ribbon in there. Hopefully that'll smooth back. Or we could try to line this up again. I'm not sure how I feel about some sticky mat. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to let it do its thing. We're going to let it simmer. Sometimes you just have to let things simmer. Now I'm using this as the horizon line. And now I'm going to use the sunset. I hope your headache goes away too, Sandy. It's probably, is it the weather coming in maybe that's causing some of the nastiness? Because I know that the weather has gotten me a few times here lately. I'm looking for my yellow brush. It's right in front of me. So we're using mustard seed. Now you notice I did not cut the flags. I just left those open, and we're gonna go with it because since this is a sunshine, everything would actually kind of be in shadow because the sun is behind it. So I'm gonna probably go over it with gray anyway, so it's not gonna make a difference. I just wanted you to know what the thinking was. Now I'm using abandoned coral. Okay. I'm going to be brave and remove that. And I'm going to go back to the mustard seed lightly. Hi, Rebecca. We've got quite. I didn't think there would be this many people here on a Friday afternoon. Are you all at work? Like, are y'all cheating? If you are, I won't tell your bosses. Okay. Let's cover up. Where's the lid for this? Where did I throw it? Okay. I'm going to take this blue and just and then I'm going to take whatever's on the yellow. Kind of do some reflection down here into the water. Okay. You're loving this guy. Well, you're the inspiration to this. You did it way better than I did, though. So you know that they're part of me. Oh, yeah, we're going to do it. We're doing it. Because I want to be different. We're using my favorite cloud stencil. Oh, stop it. This is good. And we're stopping. Who inspired this release? So I have always wanted to do a barefoot cruise and have never been able to do it. And so this ship kind of is what inspired it. But then the pirates kind of go hand in hand. Originally, this was drawn with a flag that was not a pirate ship, like a pirate theme, but I wanted it, so I changed it. When it's your party, you can do what you want to, kind of thing. And then the Be Courageous. Now, you guys notice when I'm peeling this straight off. If I had let this dry, we would be able to reuse this, but I am impatient because I'm live. So I do have a couple places where the backing, like I said, if I had let it dry, we wouldn't have had this issue. Okay. The Be Courageous was because I had a girl stamp soldier for Ephesians, and I had so many people at shows request that I have a boy. So that has been on my to-do list. I got to get rid of this. This is making me nuts. Okay. I know everybody seems to love matte. I'm not a matte person, it doesn't seem like. And then the Kraken. One of my friends had a stamp company years ago, and she had an octopus in a bathtub. And it was, quite frankly, my favorite stamp set that she ever did. So I obviously wasn't going to do an octopus in a bathtub, even though I wanted to. Because, again, I think when somebody does something really well, you just let them have it, right? So I decided that it was time to do my own Kraken. Now, we are going to cut this side off because I clearly did some messed up stuff. I am going to color the things, and then I'm going to distress this a little bit to keep this from being a problem. Let's see, are we too zoomed out? All right. So since I said that the sun is behind the ship at this point, I am taking a T6 and I colored right over the crossbones, and you don't even know that there was a color there. We could do, I don't know, a T3 and do this one. Okay, so that's done. You know what? The Navy character would be good with the ship. I agree. That's a good idea. Good idea, Jay. It's a good thing you're on the show today because now you're giving me ideas. I always call it a show. Is this a show? I don't know. It just seems like so silly when I say show. I don't know. Funny. And again, the sun. Like I'm gonna have to color in these white areas that are gonna match that sky because y'all know I am not the person that's gonna do all the fuzzy cutting crap. But that doesn't mean that you can't. So I am going pretty gray with this because, again, the sun would be behind it. And there'd be a shadow there. And this looks like this is just string, like a sail. Okay. I could have masked the flag and done whatever I wanted. Like I said, I was messing around with my scan and cut for so long, trying to make it work, that I ran out of time to get into all the craziness. But the fact that I even took a scissors out means I love you guys. Like, I really wanted to be here with you guys. Otherwise, this would not be happening at all. So this, I did a C5, and now this is a C3. So let's see, and now we'll do a little bit of a C1. And we are going to put color in here because we know that sails are pretty translucent. Isn't that pretty though, with the clouds in there? That was not a planned idea. It really was not. So let's get out a scrap piece of paper and start figuring out our colors. I think we could do some yellow here, and here, everything that's kind of behind the sailboat. We're going to get tricky up here. We're going to have to put some yellow, or I'm sorry, some orange in there. But I think we could even start to put like some Y19 to make it golden, like where some of those strips were. So we're just we're giving the illusion that we're playing along nice. Okay. So, I want to see what this will look like. So even though I'm using pink, I think that we can flick some of that in there up here on top of that yellow, and it's perfect. Okay. Oh, we have some more sky that I completely left off. Down here, there's sky. And I'm going to put a little bit of this R20 in there too, just to give it the illusion. There we go. Now let's make this a glorious ship. It's glowing. I know I love it when it glows. It would have helped if I had pulled the right colors. All right, for the ship, we are going to do an E59, 53, 55, 57. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is not my norm. But we're just going to get her done. All right. E59. So we're going to put in some shadows here where some of the ducking is. Can't believe I just made that little smudge. Honestly, you guys, we probably could have just, besides the sails, we probably could have like just stenciled right over the boat. Because I'm going dark enough that we would have covered most of that up. This needs a little bit of something, something. So that was 5-7. This is 5-5. So 5-7 and 5-5 are two mid-tones. So those are the colors you see the most of. I'm going to color those darker. We're just going to pretend that that's a solid wood. It's my boat. I can do whatever I want with it. Just saying. All right, now I'm going to bring in an R12. And we're just adding some color to those sails. And let's do a Y02. Crazy, 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 I tell you. Now I'm going to take my E31. So Justine is asking that everybody to hit the like button, leave comments, do all those things because it helps our algorithm and gets us seen more. So I'm using an E31. And you know what? This is a good place to use the chisel because everybody says, what's the chisel for? And the key to the chisel is you don't lift it up until you're done. Because you want solid color. But as soon as you pick it up, you're done. All right. So we're going to have a little hillside here. So I'm using an E35. And where these plants are, and where this rock is, which we're going to change the color of that probably. And we can kind of dot those in. Kind of making my own little hillsides here. And that was with the E35. Now we're going to do the E33. Back to E31. You notice these dots are getting much bigger and more dispersed. And that's because it's like the color kind of bleaches everything out and makes it kind of marry into one another. For the rocks, because we're still kind of in the sunset, we're going to use a T4 and a T2. Which my T4 is trashed. Dang it. T5 it is. T2. Okay. Remember I told you that these were distress inks, right? In that area got too dark for me. So we're just breaking that up. Really want to break up that blue. There we go. Now, did you notice I kind of used my hand to mask everything because I didn't want that to go everywhere? I do need to dry this a little bit though, because we're not done. Now you guys saw me kind of flip it from the front to the back as I was drying it, and that's because it folds one way and then it kind of makes it trying to go the other way. And then even if you go like this, you can kind of get your paper flat again. So I am going to take this BOO and just add a little bit to that side. Okay. And then, where's the white marker? We're not done. Go pick a Kriya. So we can add some beach wash up here. And we just kind of call this crinkling. In fact, before we go further, we can even do like a little bit of blue here. And we can there we go. And I'm going to say that there's going to be some white caps out here along the horizon. And the key is you want to keep your waves like straight with the horizon. Okay. Now we can put in just some fun little white accents if you want. You can maybe give your guy a little bit of sparkle. I don't know. Just do whatever you want. We're going to let that dry because that is still wet. Really pretty, huh? Okay. Let's cut her down. Because I didn't have my masking all the way to the right side. Okay. Let's see here. Let's start with 4. And then 5 1/4. I don't know. That's going to take off some of the, little bit more. So 5 1/4, we'll flip it around and do it down here. And now we've got a 4 by 5 1/4 base. And I think, honestly, I want a block base. So I'm making that. Hold still, hold tight. Okay. Okay, 5 1/2. So I always do top folding cards because it's easier for me to photograph them. So that's why I do mine long ways instead of 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Where's my scoring tool? So we're going to do that right at 5 1/2. Now you've officially been taught how to make a top folding A2 card base if you didn't already know. So I scored that at 5 1/2 on the long side. Now it's perfectly in half. Okay. Isn't it pretty? I love it too, Sylvia. So Sandy's saying that she uses a Posca or a Grable. I had Posca and I could never get them to flow the way I wanted them to flow. And then I went with the Sharpie White, which I really am a fan of the Sharpie White. But I feel like with the Sharpie White, I have to go over it more than once because the color sort of bleeds through. That doesn't bother me, but I do recommend if you get the Sharpie White to get the ones that are the brush tip. That's my recommendation to you. But again, this is your craft budget and your craft room, and you have to do what fits for you. But for me, that's what I like to use. We're going to get rid of some of this crap off the desk because I can't stand looking at it. So sorry. Okay. So as always, I backed mine with double-sided adhesive, but because you see that I struggle with getting anything done straight, which I think, having too many things straight and not breaking the rules isn't fun anyway. So why not have a cattywampus world? Just saying. Okay. I'm still not getting it on straight. Ugh. She's pretty. I'm not gonna lie, she's pretty. She's very, 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 very pretty. going to get out of Misty. We're taking the pad out because you know I always do things. I'm a rule breaker. Where did the stamp go? I want to see how wet this is. Give me a moment. So I'm testing to see if my ink is extremely wet, if my panel is extremely wet. It's a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. So I'm going to use clear instead of white. I was originally going to stamp it in clear and then emboss in white because I thought it would show up more. But we don't have that luxury today. So let me treat this with an anti-static tool. That just happens to be the one that's the closest to my desk. Not necessarily endorsing it. Why am I such a mess? VersaFine Claire is always on my desk. Why is it not on my desk? Every time I stand up from a live, I always think of the people who got busted during COVID. That I'm so bad that weren't wearing pants during their Zoom meetings, and I don't know why, but that just it always it just always reminds me of that, and it just makes me giggle. You guys need to know I'm like a 15-year-old little boy at heart. I don't know why. Every time I think about that, it just makes me giggle. Perfect. Well, it's a little off, but I know the person who's going to receive this is going to be just fine. I feel my watch vibrating, so somebody is saying something to me and probably laughing at me, but it's fine. I'm having a good time, so you guys should too. Rebecca says she works with a bunch of guys, so no shame in my game. All right. Thank you for giving me permission to be a 2-year-old or a 15-year-old child. You know what? If you can't have humor, then what can you have, you know? I am going to use some of the daffodil confetti that's from our shop. We have these cute little boats, too, that help you funnel it back in. My head was totally in the way. Excuse me. And I chose these because they're somewhat see-through, but they match the card. So, you know, it doesn't take away from the design, but it adds the glimmer. You could totally use the opalescence or the touch of warmth. The touch of warmth is a little bit more white, but I just feel like this gives the sunshine feel. I think we could even do a couple up here and just really just make this card go wild. I mean, why not? I feel like whether this is for a female or a male, that everybody loves the summertime feels. You could use the coral sunrise. They're tinier little confettis, and they would be pretty. You could use the mermaid's tail. You could use girl's best friend, which is a rhinestone. You could use Del Mar. You could there's all kinds. You could use breakfast at teas, which is like an aqua. So there's all kinds of things that you could choose to do with this card. Bling bling is always good. Yes, I agree, Miss Benita. What do you guys think? Isn't it pretty? I feel like those rocks need to be, like I bleached them out too much. Very cool. So we use the casted net stencil to create some of the texture in the water. We use the sunburst stencil to do the sun behind the boat. I did use some posted tape to go across and make a horizon, and then we also used the masking wonder from our line to do that. Now, I had ripped that off while it was still wet from all the ink blending. If I had let that dry thoroughly, then you could have reused that and saved it for your packaging, but that's it. So I don't know. So I showed you how you could totally get rid of the pirate, or you can embrace the pirate. If I had brought the beach up here more, we could have put the little pirates down here playing in the sand, or we could have done the octopi in there. So there's so many things you could do. Or like Jay said, we could use the little Navy guy from our new set, like he was, from the old time Navy when we, had wooden ships. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that we could have done with this, but we stuck pretty traditional. Justine was my inspiration. I think she did it better, and that's probably because she didn't do it on a live, and she, took her time a little bit more. But that's the card for today. We did this in less than an hour, y'all. That was amazing. If you haven't subscribed to our blog, it's pjcrafterstamps.com. And again, watch Justine on Craft Roulette. This is our last week of sponsoring them for the week of June, clearly, since June is over. But we are so glad that we had this opportunity to be part of the Craft Roulette family. So this is it that I've got for today. I will see you Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with whatever the wheel gives us for Craft Roulette. Okay. Love you guys. I will see you, like I said, Tuesday night. And Dawn, if you are watching, thank you so much for the kind words that you sent. They came at exactly the right time. And prayers were answered for Lisa. Bye, Toodles. Love you.